Have you ever pondered why certain individuals appear to become more isolated as the years pass, while others remain enveloped in warmth and companionship? It transcends mere wrinkles or the passage of time. With the passage of time, we inevitably adopt habits, those subtle, insidious ones that can silently alienate others, strain our connections, and complicate our existence more than necessary. The most terrifying aspect? Many of us remain blissfully unaware of our actions until the moment has passed us by. However, there is a silver lining. This video will guide you through the process of making those changes. We are exploring the unspoken habits that often go unnoticed, the ones that silently infiltrate your existence, robbing you of your happiness, your well-being, and your connections with those around you. Meet Julie, a 71-year-old retired librarian whose narrative uncovers the journey of how these habits became ingrained and the remarkable transformation she achieved. What compels you to stay engaged until the very last moment? We are revealing 9 unexpected traps that may be impacting you or someone dear to you at this very moment, along with straightforward, actionable solutions to escape their grasp. Prepare to be astonished by number 7. It's the one that often goes unnoticed until it exacts a heavy toll. Ultimately, you will encounter a challenge that has the potential to reshape your life from this very moment onward. Stay close to uncover the ways to identify these habits before they dominate your life, to rekindle connections you believed were gone, and to embrace aging with intention rather than remorse. For those who have experienced feelings of disconnection, stagnation, or a simple curiosity about the barriers in their path, this message is intended for you. Go ahead and hit that like button, subscribe, and let's dive in. For the longer you hesitate, the more challenging it becomes to transform. I encourage you to subscribe and activate the notification bell to ensure you never miss a video. Your support is truly appreciated, and if this video resonated with you, consider helping me share these important lessons by liking and sharing it. If this video resonates with you, kindly leave a comment with the number 1. If you feel inclined, please leave a comment with a 0, so I can understand how to enhance my videos and create a more enjoyable experience for you. Let us embark on this journey. First and foremost, falling into a pattern of excessive negativity or criticism. Sarah had never envisioned herself as someone who nurtured negativity. She perceived herself as a person who candidly expressed her thoughts, embodying honesty in her interactions with others. Yet, as the years flowed onward, she became aware of a subtle transformation stirring within her. Initially, it was understated. A quiet sigh in one moment, a brief murmur of discontent in another. Yet, as time passed, it evolved into a recurring theme she could no longer overlook. The dawn of each day greeted her with the all-too-familiar symphony of aches and pains, prompting her to softly lament the passage of time and the inevitability of aging. Wasn't it merely a harmless grumble? Yet it quickly seeped into other facets of her day. As she tuned into the news, each report deepened her frustration, igniting a profound sense of helplessness and anger regarding the state of the world. As she addressed her younger relatives, her words took on a cutting edge. In her day, she would lament, there was a greater sense of respect, accompanied by a dramatic roll of the eyes, as if the younger generation were somehow letting down her own. Initially, she remained oblivious to the strain it was imposing on her connections with others. It appeared innocuous, merely candid thoughts, wouldn't you agree? Yet gradually dialogues grew more concise. Friends started to shy away from profound conversations, instinctively navigating around subjects they recognized would spiral into yet another tirade. Even her grandchildren, who once looked forward to visiting her, started to concoct excuses to avoid spending time in her company. What Sarah was unaware of, in that moment, was the gradual and subtle erosion of her negativity. Regardless of the circumstances, no one desires to walk away from a conversation feeling diminished compared to their initial state. Negativity acts as a heavy burden, dragging individuals down and causing them to withdraw instead of forging connections. In truth, one can effortlessly fall into a pattern of critique. Life often presents itself as a whirlwind, with the world shifting in ways that can leave us disoriented, particularly when the chaos defies logic or comfort. Our bodies no longer operate as they once did. Activities that once flowed effortlessly, such as shopping, driving, or navigating a smartphone, can unexpectedly transform into sources of irritation. Expressing those feelings can provide a sense of liberation. Yet, When negativity settles into your default state, it transforms into a barrier that separates you, rather than serving as a means to navigate your feelings. What are the ways to transform this energy? Begin your dialogues with a touch of optimism. Rather than starting with grievances, think about opening with appreciation. Today, I awoke with a sense of well-being. And the sunset from last night, with its breathtaking beauty, could easily find a place in your daily musings. The essence of positive energy possesses an innate ability to radiate and proliferate. It possesses an irresistible allure. Individuals are naturally attracted to those who elevate their spirits instead of burdening them. When the urge to express your frustrations arises, remember to establish boundaries. Allow yourself a brief moment to voice your frustrations, and then transition to a more productive endeavor. Curiosity wields a strength that surpasses the sting of criticism. Inquire freely, particularly regarding matters that elude your comprehension. Rather than brushing aside the interests of your grandchildren, be it an app or a game, consider responding with curiosity. Tell me more about that. It fosters connection instead of driving them apart. As Sarah began to embrace these subtle transformations, leading with an optimistic spirit, demonstrating authentic curiosity about her grandkids' experiences, and frequently voicing her appreciation, she observed a striking change unfold. Dialogues extended into the depths of time. Once more, individuals found the courage to share their thoughts with her. Gradually, the long-lost warmth of connection surged forth, enveloping everything in its embrace once more. What she discovered, through a difficult journey, was that the energy one sends out into the world is the very energy that returns to them. To forge a true connection, one must first be willing to offer it. It begins with the words you utter, the presence you bring into the world, and the perspective you decide to embrace. Second place, neglecting the care of one's personal hygiene and outward appearance. Once upon a time, Sarah found joy in adorning herself with beautiful outfits. She reveled in her appearance, meticulously selecting the ideal outfit, artfully applying her makeup, and ensuring her hair was flawlessly styled before stepping out the door. Her wardrobe was a tapestry of exquisite garments, each blouse a vibrant hue, complemented by a signature fragrance that she donned with unwavering poise. Yet, as time unfolded, a transformation started to take shape. It began with subtle shifts, forgoing hair appointments and choosing the ease of loose, comfortable attire over the fashionable ensembles she once favored. She started to ponder, what was the point? She had long ceased the effort to captivate anyone's attention. As the days passed, she discovered a tendency to linger in her loungewear, seldom casting a glance at her reflection. She persuaded herself that it was of no consequence. Yet, beneath the surface, a transformation was quietly unfolding within her. She began to sense a change within herself. It transcended the perceptions of others. It delved into the depths of her own self-perception. Sarah started to observe how others interacted with her. Once, strangers would shower her with compliments about her vibrant outfits. Now they scarcely met her gaze. Friends who once extended invitations for lunch or a movie began to ask her to join less often. As Sarah gazed upon the faded photographs of her past, she struggled to identify the lively woman she had once been. Where had she vanished to? What became of the woman who exuded joy and confidence? The realization she had yet to fully comprehend was that the way we showcase ourselves to the world influences not just how others view us, but also shapes our own self-perception. Personal appearance transcends mere vanity. It revolves around the essence of self-respect, a tribute to the individual you embody, irrespective of the passage of time. It revolves around being present for oneself, embracing the comfort of your own skin, and declaring, I am significant. What is the method to reverse this? Begin with small, achievable steps. Put on your clothes, even if the day holds no extraordinary plans. It need not be an ensemble crafted by a renowned designer. Simply put, it's about wearing clean, well-tailored garments that bring you comfort and boost your self-esteem. Engaging in a shower, running a brush through your hair, or carefully trimming your nails, these seemingly minor rituals of self-care convey a profound affirmation. I'm deserving of this attention. I am deserving of this attention. Donning an attire that resonates with your heart, something that ignites joy within, has the power to uplift your very essence. The subtle nuances, such as a delicate spritz of perfume or a cherished piece of jewelry, can truly transform the experience. They evoke the essence of your identity, reflecting the woman you have always been and the one you continue to evolve into. As Sarah began to revisit those simple rituals, brushing her hair, slipping into her favorite blouse, and applying a touch of lipstick, she felt an enchanting transformation unfolding around her. She began to feel a sense of lightness, a newfound confidence, and indeed, a beauty that was blossoming once more. As she entered the room, smiles blossomed on the faces of those present. She sensed recognition, and, most significantly, she rediscovered her true self. It felt as if the lively woman she believed she had lost was softly re-emerging, not only in the gaze of those around her, but also within her own reflection. Third in line, developing an unwavering resolve and an aversion to transformation. If you are still engaged with this video and appreciate these lessons, I invite you to comment one below to signify your presence alongside me. Sarah had always taken great pride in her ability to discern her preferences with precision and clarity. She was resolute in her habits, and that had perpetually been her sanctuary. What is the rationale behind altering something that has proven effective for so many years? Yet, as her children and grandchildren began to favor text messages over phone calls, Sarah found herself resisting this shift. "I don't need to learn all that," she would say, waving away their offers to teach her. "If they wish to converse with me, they may simply lift the receiver." Yet, as time passed, those phone calls dwindled significantly. Updates about family, snapshots, and birthday reminders started to flood in, but they came exclusively through group chats she chose to avoid. At first, she remained oblivious, unaware that she was gradually distancing herself from those she cherished the most. It transcended mere technology. It revolved around the essence of connection, the desire to be woven into the fabric of their lives, and the profound nature of love. Yet Sarah's unwavering resolve had started to create a chasm between her and those around her. Change, as we know, is an inescapable reality. As life progresses, one can easily sense a reluctance when it appears that the world is advancing without them. Yet, the key lies in maintaining an open heart and mind. It's simple to declare, "I don't need that," yet there lies a profound resilience in the words, "I'll try." Embracing change, regardless of its magnitude, ensures your engagement and sharpens your mind. There's no need to transform into an expert in the blink of an eye. Begin with the little details. Allow your grandchildren to guide you in the art of sending a text, or immerse yourself in a show that captures their affection. Rather than turning away from change, welcome it with open arms. One cannot truly grasp the essence of what lies beyond until one dares to experience it. When Sarah finally allowed her granddaughter to guide her through the art of texting, she was taken aback by its remarkable simplicity. What astonished her even further, however, was the torrent of connections she had overlooked. Every day brought snapshots of her great-grandchildren, shared laughter through inside jokes, and brief moments of connection that enveloped her in a sense of belonging. In relinquishing her resistance, she found the capacity to embrace something far more precious than mere advancements in technology. Bond. It transcended the mere act of texting. It was a means of connecting with those who held the greatest significance in my life. In her journey, she discovered not only fresh avenues for expression, but also unearthed a profound sense of love and connection within her relationships. Clinging tightly to the remnants of the past, unable to part with the chaos that surrounds, Sarah had always possessed a deep sense of sentimentality. For her, each object in her home was imbued with a narrative, a recollection, a fragment of history she found impossible to relinquish. Amidst the forgotten relics of time, there lay old birthday cards, shrouded in dust and untouched for decades, alongside stacks of newspapers that whispered of promises made to herself. Promises of reading them someday. Clothes, too, lingered in the shadows, unworn for years. Yet their hold on her heart remained unyielding, a testament to memories she couldn't bear to release. She held on to them, just in case. Throughout the years, her once inviting home, a tranquil refuge, had evolved into a daunting labyrinth of possessions, filling every nook, every shelf, and every space. She could no longer refute the truth. What was once a sanctuary had transformed into a war zone, cluttered with belongings she scarcely engaged with yet found herself unable to part from. Initially, Sarah perceived no issue at all. She persuaded herself that all things held significance. She frequently remarked, "I may find it useful one day." It exuded a sense of safety, comfort, and reassurance to hold on to it all. Yet in reality, the relentless chaos had started to choke the vitality from her home, her tranquility, and her very essence. As the days unfolded, she felt an increasing weariness settle over her, a fatigue born from the relentless effort to sift through and manage the ever-growing heaps around her. Maintaining her home in a state of order grew increasingly challenging. Locating essentials became a daunting task, and the thought of inviting others over filled her with a sense of embarrassment over the disarray. Her once inviting space had transformed into a haunting reminder of her entrapment in the past, a testament to her reluctance to let go of what no longer served her. When her daughter softly proposed that perhaps it was time to consider releasing a few burdens, Sarah fought against the notion with every ounce of her strength. "What if I find myself needing them in the future?" she contended. Yet in truth, the chaos extended beyond her living space. It started to invade her thoughts as well. The burden of carrying such weight upon her shoulders, obscuring the joy of the moment and shrouding her sense of tranquility. It transcended mere possessions. It was a reflection of the emotional weight she had gathered over time with them. Releasing what we hold dear is a challenge, particularly when every item seems to carry a fragment of our soul. Yet the reality is this: clinging to excess, be it in the form of material belongings or emotional weight, fosters a feeling of stagnation, trapping one in the echoes of the past and hindering the ability to fully engage with the present moment. It is a quiet intruder that steals away your clarity and tranquility. In a moment of clarity, Sarah understood that embracing true freedom required her to release the burdens she had been carrying. Escaping the grasp of clutter is not an instantaneous journey. It demands a gentle perseverance, a compassionate regard for oneself, and the bravery to confront the reality that not all that you cling to is necessary. How does one even embark on the journey to escape this suffocating chaos? Begin with the basics. Address each drawer, each shelf, each box individually. Envisioning the prospect of decluttering all at once may seem daunting. Yet when approached in smaller, more manageable segments, it transforms into a far more feasible endeavor. Consider whether this is something you truly utilize. Does it evoke a sense of joy within me? If the response is negative, then it is time to bid farewell. Consider giving away items that could benefit others, recycling those that have lost their utility, or sharing cherished possessions with family members who will hold them dear. Transform decluttering into a routine, an effortless part of your daily life. Establish a modest objective. Eliminate a single item from your possession each day. A seemingly minor yet steady endeavor has the potential to yield significant change as time unfolds. Moreover, we must consider the pragmatic side of the situation. Disarray does more than simply induce mental strain. It may also pose risks. It heightens the likelihood of falls, accidents, and injuries. A dwelling transcends mere shelter. It ought to be a sanctuary where you experience safety, comfort, and tranquility. As Sarah made the bold choice to embark on her decluttering journey, an enchanting transformation began to unfold. As the burden eased from her shoulders, it became clear that the change was far more than merely physical. She parted with garments long untouched, transformed neglected magazines into new purpose, and curated her surroundings to illuminate the essentials that held true significance. Do you realize something? After years of turmoil, a rare tranquility enveloped Sarah's home, bringing her a newfound sense of peace. It transcended mere cleanliness. It radiated a sense of lightness, brightness, and warmth that invited all who entered. A newfound sense of liberation washed over her, one that stemmed from letting go of the past and fully welcoming the present moment. Most importantly, she discovered a renewed excitement for inviting friends over, a feeling that had eluded her for far too long. 5. Sarah had never considered herself to be someone who easily lost patience with others. She consistently embodied kindness, understanding, and forgiveness in her interactions. Yet, as the days unfolded, she began to perceive subtle fissures forming in her composure. Small instances where annoyance surged and she momentarily slipped from her poise. On a quiet afternoon, she found herself at the grocery store, patiently waiting in line with a cart brimming with items. The young cashier moved at a leisurely pace, clumsily handling the bags and Sarah could feel her frustration simmering beneath the surface. What accounts for his sluggishness? Isn't it possible for him to pick up the pace a bit? She contemplated, a surge of irritation bubbling within her. The words slipped from her lips before she had a chance to hold them back. Could you please expedite your pace? As the words slipped from her lips, she noticed the cashier's expression dimming. He cast his gaze downward, his hands quivering ever so slightly as he endeavored to complete his task. In that moment, realization washed over her. The young man, fresh to the scene, was filled with nerves yet striving earnestly to make his mark. And there she stood, lashing out at him as though he were the source of her turmoil. A sudden wave of guilt washed over her. Had she begun to transform into the very individual she once held in disdain? The individual who was hasty in judgment, swift to react, yet languid in extending kindness? The truth struck with undeniable force. As we age, it becomes increasingly effortless to find ourselves lacking patience with those around us. Life unfolds at its own rhythm, and it can be exasperating when the surrounding world lags behind our desires for speed. Yet the reality is that impatience complicates life not only for oneself, but also for those around them. It complicates matters for us as well. It elevates our stress, obscures our judgment, and taints our interactions with those we meet. How do we cultivate patience and kindness, particularly when the pace of life seems to drag on endlessly? Embarking on this journey begins with a straightforward action. Take a moment to reflect before responding. As irritation begins to seep into your thoughts, pause for a moment and draw in a deep breath. Should I really allow myself to be troubled by this? Consider that the driver taking their time on the road may very well be a beloved grandfather, while the cashier struggling with the bags might be a diligent student striving to excel. With a touch of patience, one can traverse great distances. When frustration begins to rise within you, consider altering your viewpoint. Rather than reacting with frustration, extend a smile, share a kind word, or gently suggest, take your time. When Sarah encountered the young cashier again, she took action. With a warm smile, she praised his efforts, assuring him that he was doing exceptionally well. His face illuminated with joy, and in that instant, Sarah understood the profound impact of kindness. A small gesture can brighten someone's day, lightening their load just a bit. Patience in the end serves not only as a blessing for others, but also as a precious offering to ourselves. Opting for patience instead of frustration fosters reduced stress, enhances interactions, and cultivates a more tranquil heart. Sarah had always cherished the art of conversation. She possessed an abundance of tales to tell, wisdom to impart, and moments to revisit. Throughout the years, she had earned the reputation of being the family's storyteller. Yet, a singular issue loomed large. She was unaware of the frequency with which she took control of the discussions. One day, her daughter, who had been reaching out less frequently, finally decided to share her thoughts with her. "Mom, I cherish our conversations, but there are moments when I feel like my voice goes unheard." Her daughter admitted, "It seems that our conversations revolve entirely around you, leaving me little room to express my own thoughts." Sarah stood in disbelief. How could she have missed it? She came to understand that each time they conversed, she would eagerly interject with her own experiences, tales, and counsel, scarcely taking a moment to truly listen. In her quest to impart her wisdom, Sarah had inadvertently overlooked the importance of allowing her daughter the opportunity to express herself, to truly be heard. She spoke endlessly, yet remained oblivious to the words around her. With the passage of time, one may find themselves ensnared by the illusion that they possess all the solutions. We seek to convey the lessons of our lives, to share the insights we've gathered through the passage of time. Yet if we neglect to pause and genuinely absorb the words of those we cherish, we run the perilous risk of alienating them. Sarah confronted the truth that in her eagerness to connect, she had inadvertently distanced herself from those she cherished the most. Achieving better conversations hinges on the delicate art of balance. Engage in conversation, but also take the time to truly hear. After sharing your thoughts for a moment, take a breath and inquire, "What about you? How have you been faring lately?" Strive to actively engage with the words of the other, demonstrating a true curiosity about their thoughts and feelings. Hold back the impulse to interject. Even when you possess a captivating tale to share, allow the other individual the opportunity to express themselves. Pose questions that encourage genuine dialogue and exploration, rather than merely inquiring, "How do you fare?" Consider inquiring about the most thrilling event that unfolded this week. The next time Sarah engaged in conversation with her daughter, she deliberately focused on listening. She inquired further, allowed her daughter to express herself, and reserved her counsel for moments of genuine necessity. The outcomes were truly remarkable. Their dialogues evolved into extended exchanges, imbued with warmth and depth. Sarah discovered that the most meaningful conversations are not rooted in speaking more, but in the art of listening deeply. In that unadorned moment of listening, she unearthed the profound beauty of connection once more. Seventh in line, shoving others aside rather than reaching out for assistance. If you're still engaged with this video and appreciate the lessons being shared, I invite you to comment 2 below to signal your presence and support. Sarah had always taken great pride in her unwavering independence. It defined her essence, shaped her existence. For decades, she devoted herself to nurturing and caring for those around her. With boundless affection, she nurtured her children, orchestrated the lively rhythm of her household with grace, and extended her kindness to neighbors seeking assistance. It was a comforting sensation to be sought after, to occupy the role of the one whom others rely upon. Yet as time flowed on, a subtle transformation began to unfold. The once straightforward tasks that flowed effortlessly for her transformed into daunting challenges. On a quiet afternoon, she found herself grappling with the burden of a heavy grocery bag as she attempted to lift it from her car, her arms quivering under the strain. A young man strolled past, observing her plight, and with a gentle smile, extended his assistance. "Could you use some assistance with that?" he inquired. With a sense of pride, Sarah managed to force a smile and shook her head. "I appreciate the offer, but I can manage on my own." Yet she chose not to. She did not. With each laborious pull of the heavy bag into the room, the strain in her back grew sharper, and a tide of frustration and solitude enveloped her. With every step, a weight seemed to settle deeper, not merely from the fatigue of the body, but from the profound emotional burden of turning away from an act of kindness. She had distanced herself from a person who genuinely sought to assist, someone who recognized her turmoil and wished to alleviate it. In that instant, Sarah experienced a profound sense of isolation, deeper than she had ever known. Later that night, as she sat in the stillness of her home, the painful realization struck her like a chilling breeze. Her unwillingness to seek assistance, to embrace support, was not fortifying her resolve. No, it was gradually distancing her from the very bonds that had once provided her solace. She opted for solitude instead of companionship, self-sufficiency rather than shared reliance. What makes seeking assistance a demonstration of strength rather than a sign of weakness? Seeking assistance does not render you a burden. It grants others the chance to nurture you, to express their affection and encouragement. Individuals truly desire to assist, yet if you persist in excluding them, in time, they will cease to extend their hands. In those moments, you will discover that you are not merely weighed down by physical loads, but also deprived of emotional sustenance. Embracing assistance nurtures bonds. It forges connections between souls, crafting instances of collective humanity that transcend the immediate endeavor. Whether it involves holding a door ajar, shouldering a burdensome load, or extending a compassionate ear, allowing others to assist us simplifies the journey of life. Not solely in a physical sense, but also on an emotional level. It serves as a poignant reminder that we are not destined to face our struggles in solitude. In allowing others to experience their own sense of utility, you bestow upon them a precious gift. Can you envision a world where your assistance was never sought after? You might sense a lack of significance, a feeling of being unnecessary. Why withhold the pleasure of allowing others to lend you a hand? Sarah came to the profound understanding that transformation was necessary. When the opportunity for assistance arose again, she vowed to herself that she would relinquish her pride. She would undoubtedly agree. The next time she found herself in the store and caught sight of that young man once more, Sarah offered a warm smile and said, "Actually, I could use a little help today." His face lit up, and as he took the bag from her grasp, Sarah sensed a burden ease, not from her shoulders, but from her heart. In that seemingly ordinary moment, a profound change stirred within her. She experienced a profound sense of recognition, worth, and, above all, a deep connection. Have you ever experienced the difficulty of reaching out for assistance, or savored the happiness that comes from extending a hand to another? This experience serves as a profound reminder of our shared journey through life. It is perfectly acceptable to allow others to enter your world. 8. Excessive thriftiness can lead to a life unfulfilled. Sarah had consistently embodied the essence of financial wisdom. With an innate talent for budgeting, she approached coupon clipping with zeal, effortlessly forgoing vacations, and took her time deliberating over any purchase that lacked necessity. Though she had a reassuring sum tucked away, an incessant worry lingered in the recesses of her thoughts. What if I find myself in need of this money down the line? What if an unforeseen event occurs? The relentless rhythm of accumulation persisted, an unending loop of saving. But for what purpose? What was the purpose of amassing wealth if it wasn't being utilized to create the life she had always envisioned? One day, Sarah received an invitation from her dearest friend, Emily, to embark on a weekend adventure to the serene countryside. "It will be an absolute delight, Sarah," Emily exclaimed, her voice brimming with enthusiasm. "We shall embark on an adventure, savor delightful cuisine, and embrace the art of relaxation." Sarah's first impulse was to decline. To embark on a journey often entails a financial investment. Dining out signified an expenditure. Every aspect of it filled her with unease. What if I come to regret that expenditure? Yet, beneath the surface, a quiet voice murmured, "When was the last occasion I indulged myself?" For years, Sarah had existed within the confines of a mindset dedicated to saving for a distant tomorrow. Yet, as she lingered in that moment, gazing at Emily's invitation, Sarah found herself pondering the unsettling thought. What if that elusive day never arrives? What is the purpose of saving if I am not truly experiencing life in the present moment? What is the significance of relishing your wealth? While financial responsibility holds significant value, life encompasses much more than merely accumulating savings. It revolves around the essence of existence, the art of truly embracing life. Experiences, be it travel, outings, or hobbies, offer a depth of joy that far surpasses any material possession. Research indicates that investing in experiences cultivates memories that endure well beyond the moment the purchase fades from memory, whereas material possessions, objects, gadgets, clothing, diminish in worth as time passes. Sarah had toiled relentlessly throughout her life to reach this pivotal moment, to establish a foundation of financial stability. Yet, security devoid of fulfillment resembles a hollow vessel. A harmonious life hinges on the delicate art of balance. Reveling in the rewards of your hard work does not lessen your accomplishments. Rather, it pays tribute to them. What steps can Sarah take to alter this habit? She resolved to grant herself the freedom to indulge, to savor the small joys that life offers. Be it a dinner out, an impromptu hobby, or a weekend escape, she promised herself to cherish moments that fed her spirit. She even established a delightful fund, a dedicated account solely for her pleasure. When Emily extended the invitation for the weekend trip once more, Sarah felt no hesitation this time. She uttered a simple yes, and how profoundly it transformed everything. In those fleeting 2 days, her laughter echoed more than it had in the span of months. She basked in the warmth of the sun on her face, savored the delight of exquisite food shared with cherished companions, and, above all, rediscovered the essence of living life to the fullest. As she sat beside Emily, watching the sun dip below the horizon, a profound realization washed over her. This was the moment she had been waiting for all along. The fleeting moments, the cherished memories, the profound connection. Money was intended to nurture her joy, not merely linger idle in a bank. Which experiences have you been delaying due to financial constraints? Life does not pause for your preparation. The moment has arrived, ninth in line. With a condescending air, Sarah cherished her grandson, Noah. His visits illuminated the pinnacle of her week. She delighted in listening to tales of his school days, his interests, and particularly his fervor for video games. Yet, in recent times, those visits seemed to carry a different weight, a sense of distance lingering in the air. Their exchanges had taken on a tense quality, laden with discomfort. She observed that Noah seemed less inclined to engage in conversation, his attention captured more by his phone than by their shared moments. On a sun-drenched afternoon, Noah eagerly introduced a new app that had captured his enthusiasm. In a moment of exasperation, Sarah let out a sigh and gently shook her head. In my time, we thrived without the reliance on modern technology. Children ventured outdoors to engage and play, rather than fixate on screens throughout the day. Noah fell silent. A few moments later, he murmured, "I suppose I should be on my way." The door clicked shut behind him, leaving Sarah in solitude, the piercing ache of regret piercing her heart. She never intended to create distance between them, yet that was precisely what she had done. Her words, intended to impart wisdom, instead left him feeling dismissed and invalidated. In her quest for connection, she had inadvertently erected a barrier that separated them. What is it about condescending communication that alienates younger generations? One can easily find themselves ensnared in the warm embrace of memories from a time long past. However, perpetually emphasizing to younger generations that the past was superior can lead them to believe that their own experiences and struggles are insignificant. Rather than nurturing comprehension, it breeds separation. Each generation encounters a distinct array of challenges and struggles. Rather than casting judgment upon them, we ought to elevate their spirits, providing support and encouragement in their endeavors. What steps can Sarah take to transform this habit? The next time Noah brought up something novel, Sarah inhaled deeply and replied, "That sounds intriguing. Elaborate further, please." She did not cast it aside. Instead, she embraced curiosity. She endeavored to grasp his reality, posing inquiries that allowed him to feel acknowledged. As Noah unfolded his game strategy, a remarkable transformation took place. They forged a bond, not through disparagement, but through shared esteem. Their dialogue unfolded effortlessly, and for the first time in ages, they experienced a moment of authentic connection. How about you? Have you ever found it challenging to connect with the younger generations? What served to connect the divide? At times, the focus isn't on transforming them. It involves grasping their perspective, perceiving the world as they do, and connecting with them in their current state. 10. Clinging to grudges and regrets resembles the burden of a heavy weight, gradually depleting your spirit. Piece by piece, it transcends mere mental strain. It infiltrates every aspect of your existence, robbing you of current happiness and obscuring your viewpoint. Each time you permit yourself to linger on those past hurts, you are robbing yourself of the splendor that the present moment holds. Have you ever found yourself reflecting on a past injustice or betrayal, and in that moment it feels as though you are not just revisiting the pain, but the very world around you seems to lose its brightness? Such is the hold of bitterness. As you hold tightly to those negative memories, you find yourself drifting further away from the love and joy that envelops you in the present moment. It is a difficult truth to confront. Yet bitterness has the power to subtly undermine the bonds we cherish. It slips in quietly, almost imperceptibly, complicating the bonds with those you hold dear. Unbeknownst to you, that resentment quietly transforms into a barrier, separating you from those you hold dear. In the most troubling instances, it transforms into a simmering rage, accumulating gradually, until your heart feels encased in ice, leaving you to ponder the reasons behind your solitude, even amidst a throng of people. Moreover, we must consider the impact it has on your well-being. Grudges and regrets transcend mere emotional baggage. It's a tension that resides within you, refusing to fade away. The unrelenting strain and pervasive negativity can elevate your blood pressure, disrupt your sleep, and potentially harm your immune system. One might attempt to dismiss it, yet beneath the surface, an undeniable truth lingers. It is indeed influencing you. The repercussions of clinging to past anguish are inescapable. If you're still engaged with this video and discovering value in these lessons, I invite you to share a simple 3 in the comments below to signal your presence alongside me. How can one release their burdens and discover the emotional liberation that is rightfully theirs? It begins with embracing the stark reality that the past is irrevocable. What has transpired is irrevocable, and regardless of how often you revisit those moments in your thoughts, they remain unaltered. Rather than questioning, "Why has this occurred to me?" consider reversing that inquiry. Inquire, "What lessons can this teach me?" By taking this step, you liberate yourself from the chains of the past and enable yourself to craft a future that is both healthier and more joyful. Forgiveness serves as a vital element, not for the one who caused you pain, but for your own peace of mind. To forgive is not to condone wrongdoing. It is to liberate yourself from its hold. You are liberating yourself. It is a difficult reality, yet releasing those grudges does not signify fragility. It embodies bravery and resilience. It revolves around reclaiming authority over your existence, your tranquility, and your emotions. Shifting your focus is no simple task. However, when you find yourself drifting back into familiar patterns of resentment, take a moment to pause and steer your thoughts towards something uplifting in the present. Consider penning a letter that unveils the depths of your unspoken thoughts and feelings. Next, shred it, set it ablaze, or allow it to float away, embracing the moment to let go of everything. You deserve at least that much. Sarah's narrative stands as a powerful reflection of this journey. For 4 long years, she bore the weight of old wounds. One evening, clutching a piece of paper, she resolved it was time to release everything. She laid bare her soul on that page, each regret, each scar. With a deep breath, she finally permitted herself to let them go. In that instant, a transformation stirred within her. After what seemed like an eternity, she experienced a sense of lightness, a newfound freedom. The burden that had anchored her for years was finally released, granting her the freedom to advance. 11. Overlooking health issues may initially appear to be a tempting refuge. Who desires to confront the chance that something may be amiss? Yet, this refusal, this evasion, can prove to be exceedingly perilous. Minor signs that we often dismiss may serve as the body's subtle alerts to more significant underlying issues. The dizziness that has been plaguing you? It might be dehydration or perhaps a troubling early indication of a stroke. That weariness you often ascribe to the passage of time. It may be an instance of heart disease that has yet to be diagnosed. We frequently persuade ourselves that it is insignificant or that it will eventually fade away. However, the reality is that postponing checkups inevitably results in more severe consequences in the future. Minor concerns, if neglected, can escalate into significant health emergencies. What compels us to linger in anticipation? What compels us to reassure ourselves that it's acceptable to overlook something that stirs a sense of unease? Perhaps it is our relentless pace, our unwavering focus on the myriad of demands around us, that leads us to overlook the whispers of our own bodies. Perhaps we fear the echoes of truths yet to be spoken. Yet, the reality remains that overlooking those warning signs does not render them non-existent. It merely exacerbates the situation. It is far simpler to prevent issues than to manage them once they arise. Through subtle changes in our daily habits, such as enhancing our nutrition or incorporating consistent physical activity, we can steer clear of significant health crises. Prevention embodies the essence of self-love and care, a precious offering that we frequently neglect. Sarah discovered this truth through a challenging experience. Following her fall, the incident that left her grappling with pain in the hospital, she came to understand how effortlessly she had neglected her health. She believed she could simply push through, convinced that the dizziness was merely an aspect of aging. Yet that autumn, that excruciating revelation transformed her perspective. She vowed to herself that she would never again overlook the subtle hints. She would heed the signals of her body, nurture herself with greater intention, and cease relegating her health to a secondary priority. She began to increase her water intake, enroll in balance classes, and arrange for regular checkups with her doctor. Embracing her health journey did not equate to relinquishing her autonomy. It signified a commitment to her own well-being, a proactive step taken before circumstances could deteriorate further. Thus, we uncover the valuable lesson that Sarah imparts to us all. Therefore, pose this question to yourself. Have you been overlooking a message that your body has been attempting to convey to you? Act before the moment slips away. Your well-being deserves your utmost attention. Seize the moment without delay. Embrace the opportunity to experience a life that is rich and full of vitality. It begins with attuning yourself to the subtle messages your body conveys. In the stillness of her living room, Sarah leafed through the pages of old photo albums, each turn evoking memories of a time brimming with laughter, joy, and vibrant excitement. She gazed at images of herself frolicking with her grandchildren, twirling at family gatherings, beaming in the sunlight. It dawned on her that, at some point in her journey, she had ceased to pursue that particular kind of joy. Life had settled into a monotonous rhythm, lacking in excitement. However, when Emily extended an invitation for a movie night, Sarah hesitated. Yet, a part of her chose to embrace the affirmative. That night, as laughter danced from the depths of her being, Sarah sensed a part of herself stirring to life. The happiness that had lain dormant for ages remained, patiently awaiting its moment of revival. For the first time in ages, she recalled the sensation of laughter that bubbled up until her stomach ached and tears streamed down her cheeks. Joyful laughter serves as a balm for the spirit. It transcends mere amusement or entertainment. It plays an essential role in our emotional and physical health. It alleviates stress, enhances immunity, promotes circulation, and even aids in memory retention. The mere act of laughter has the power to draw us nearer to one another, fortifying connections and cultivating relationships. With the passage of time, laughter serves as a gentle reminder that the spirit can remain youthful. It serves as a soft reminder to find joy in existence and to welcome the uncomplicated delights that life presents. As Sarah departed from Emily's abode that evening, a sense of lightness enveloped her. She came to understand that joy was not merely a serendipitous encounter. It was a conscious choice she could embrace. The following morning, rather than succumbing to the news or allowing her daily routine to govern her actions, she turned up her beloved music and twirled joyfully around her kitchen. The instant of laughter, the choice to welcome joy anew into her existence, marked the dawn of something truly beautiful. It is never too late to choose for yourself. Seize the moment without hesitation. Bring it into existence. Select happiness. In contemplating the significance of releasing grudges, valuing our well-being, and embracing joy, take a moment to consider the insights you've gained today. What struck a chord with you the most? Perhaps it is the strength found in forgiveness or the way laughter serves as the ultimate remedy for both body and spirit. Or perhaps it is the undeniable reality that overlooking health indicators can lead to grave repercussions. Pause for a moment and reflect on a single lesson you've encountered today that you can weave into the fabric of your life. I would be delighted to receive your thoughts. What is a lesson you are dedicated to embracing as you move ahead? We invite you to express your thoughts in the comments section below. If this video resonates with you, we invite you to share your thoughts in the comments. Remember to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more enriching content. Your support is invaluable to us.